Good morning, and welcome to the second session on the Edelman competition. My name is Michael Trick, and I am the chair of the judging panel. Just a few issues before we get started, a few announcements. First, this is all being recorded from the back, and so that means please turn off your cell phones, or your cell phone tone will be recorded for all posterity. No recording on your own. If you want to take a picture, or pictures are fine, but we'll have a very nice professional recording at the end. Please try to avoid moving around very much. And if you leave, please advise that there is no re-entry, although this is being simulcast in another room. After the 40-minute presentation, there will be a 10-minute session of questions. The questions will come from the judging panel only. I would now like to invite Ingram Micro to have their presentation.
Thank you and good morning. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for turning out this morning. We have a brief presentation that's going to take you through the work that we've been doing at Ingram Micro, and we'd like to start that off with a short video.
Technology touches all of us. It helps us thrive, realize ambitions, conquer the impossible. And while you might not know our name, we're the company behind the scenes of it all. One that has touched almost every piece of technology you use. We connect people with big ideas and dreams and help make those dreams bigger. We enable those who design technology and those who use it to forge reality from vision. Technology puts every corner of the globe in our backyard. It breathes life into our greater aspirations, often in ways we never really expect. No other company can match our talent, capabilities, or partnerships, giving us unique perspective, insight, and influence into how technology will evolve. Much of what was predicted has come to fruition. And the future is here, now. No matter where technology takes us, one thing is certain. You'll never have a day without Ingram Micro.
Thank you. My name is Paul Reed. I'm the President and Chief Operating Officer of Ingram Micro, a global distribution business. I've been with the company about 18 months. Prior to joining Ingram, I was on the board of Ingram for about a year, and I was the Chief Financial Officer of Flextronics. Flextronics International is a global contract manufacturing company, and I was there for approximately 18 years. Whilst on the board of Ingram Micro, I realized the opportunity that was being presented both strategically and tactically was tremendous, and so I decided to join the company. I'm glad to be here today, represent my colleagues here and all the great work they've been doing. As you can see, that Ingram Micro has tremendous scale, over $46 billion in revenue in over 160 countries around the world. We're truly a global market maker. We bring together vendors and customers from around the world in over 160 countries. And with that, we bring solutions to the world of technology. So over 160 countries, that's not an easy task. And in a business that really has grown tremendously for us over the many years that we have been in business, over 35 years. Differentiating yourself in this business is not an easy thing to do. And when I joined the company, there were really two things that I thought stood out for us. One was our global reach in over 160 countries, $46 billion, etc. But the other was our business intelligence tools that we have today, and the opportunity for developing those for the future. We access around 80% of the world's IT spend leveraging the data and the insights that we have, is critical to our success in our business. So in short, we are the marketplace that is around the world. We're the leading number one provider in this space by far, and we have grown tremendously. These are some of the vendors that we have. Over 1,700 vendors, the likes of HP, IBM, Cisco, Intel, etc., with over 200,000 customers that then service over 10 million end users in our business. We have the broadest offering of products, and we go to market in 4 distinct ways. We have the traditional IT business, that is by far the largest piece of our business, that is a broadline business servicing many channels around the world. We have a mobility business that, with acquisitions and organic growth, is around about $8 billion in around the world. That really focuses on the supply chain, the end-to-end supply chain of our industry. And so we touch around 1 in 3 mobile devices in the US, for example, 1 in 7 around the world, whether these are smartphones, feature phones, tablets, accessories. They all come through the Ingram Micro platform and then are delivered around the world. We focus on the life cycle of these products, so it's not just the delivery of them. We customize them, specialize them before they go out into the marketplace, and then on their return, we deal with their disposition and all the different programs that the vendors are bringing to bear in the telco arena with trade-ins and warranties and insurance and all these types of things. We provide all those services to all those devices, to all those end users. And so it's a very big business that's grown very well. In our supply chain business, that is a fee-for-service business. That's where we have the growth, the explosive growth in e-commerce, that we're servicing the Amazons of the world and others with fee-for-service, traditional warehousing, distribution, and services, the reverse logistics, the repair and return of these devices, and all the things that daily we order. We're responsible for delivering them to your door. But we do this in a 2-tier distribution model. And so we're servicing customers that are then servicing the end users. So whilst we may have over 200,000 customers, our customers are servicing over 10 million customers. And so when I came to the business and I looked at everything that we do, particularly here in North America, I thought there was a tremendous opportunity to scale that globally. The other business we have here is in the cloud environment. With a lot of business moving to the cloud platform, we have an over $7 billion software business in our company, where we're selling licenses that once, back in the day, was box software, CDs and things. Then it's licensing. Well, now it's moving to the cloud. And so we're responsible for migrating that and selling, all the new services that likes of Microsoft and IBM and others are delivering to the marketplace. So we've created this marketplace to enable these vendors to allow us to deliver it to now the end users. In the cloud as well, we're responsible for a very different environment where we're delivering these solutions not just to our customers, but to our end users. But we allow our customers on the platform to aggregate and sell individual solutions for the small dentists and lawyers and accounting offices that are out there that need 10 users, perhaps up to 100 users of these different solutions. And so, we have line of sight that goes directly to the end users. And we're helping our partners really manage through this transition right now, which is a tremendous amount of activity and data, as you can see. We are a big marketplace, and we have the responsibility to manage all of this data. But we also have the responsibility to our shareholders to deliver solutions that are very competitive and compelling in the marketplace. And when I joined the company, I realized that this was the biggest opportunity we had. in an environment that's highly competitive, highly global, and high scale, it is really important to find differentiators. And this, I believe, was one of our true differentiators. Yes, we have global scale, we have millions of square feet, and we have tens of thousands of employees. But we have data that nobody else has. And so what I was really encouraged with is within our team in North America, they had built a platform that really could maximize the potential use of this. And in using that, and my colleagues will explain later, they have generated over $1 billion of incremental revenue for the company. And I think that if we globalize this, and we're investing in that as we speak, that we could grow that 6 times what it is today. And so that's why I'm behind everything that we do here to make sure that we're leveraging everything that we have and really realizing the promise of technology for everybody around the world. With that, I'm going to hand over to Jeet, who's really been heading up our efforts, and he will take you through some of the details.
All right. So thanks to Paul. So Paul took you through who we are and why it's important to be a data-driven organization. Now, please allow me to take you through the how. We started by harnessing all our data assets into one centralized entity. We pulled together internal data like CRM and marketing behavior data, as well as external like D&B and NPD. Next, we made the decision to build all IP internally. Therefore, no use of consultants for IP development, so it was necessary to change the team profile. That's the second pillar you see. Since we wanted to be in the predictive space and not reporting, we needed scientists who were classically trained in operations research. We turned the team over 60% in 2 years. These individuals were tasked to turn our data into insights that would drive true business value. Now that we had the insights, we needed to get it into the right hands to operationalize them. We tried a lot of different methods, but unfortunately, none were very successful. As an example, we sent sales reps emails with 5 accounts to call that had specific opportunities, but no calls were made. After a lot of trial and error, we finally settled on MicroStrategy and the Microsoft.NET stack to build solutions to make the insights more consumable. And then we wrapped them with programs to get the returns that you see here. Specifically, here are the solutions that we have built for internal as well as external consumption. We have demand capture with imprime, analytics on demand with imsmart, and demand generation with intelligence. This solution architecture aligns well with internal and external needs. Let's quickly go through each and give you a sense of who is using it, how they're using it, and what benefit they're getting. imprime is our price optimization, along with the negotiation app and identification of cross-sell opportunities at the time of transaction. This is used by vendor managers and pricing analysts to set the right price. Sales has the right to override these prices, so we offer them a negotiation guidance app that tells them how other sales reps are pricing for similar customers. No one wants to be that guy in the bottom. The cross-sell feature is probably in line with what you think it should be. It looks at the products in an order and recommends other products to enhance that order. The benefit of this is tremendous. The first time we rolled this out, we were able to achieve 65 basis points. For those of you that don't know what a basis point is, it's 0.01%. May not seem like a lot, but given our scale, this was an incredible boost to our bottom line. imsmart. imsmart is analytics on the go. This demystifies all the algorithms and allows the users to use it within the context of their process. For example, account planning is used by field reps before going into accounts for visits so they can plan their conversations better. It's not just the sales organization that uses this. We have marketing, as well as our vendors use this to generate lists to activate, check on performance programs, among other activities. Obviously, the vendor version of the apps are sanitized to protect the customer's information. The last of our solutions is the intelligence platform. This solution allows our marketing and sales organization to reach out to customers and end customers and manage their purchase behaviors. Our goal with this is to predictively stimulate demand. At the end of the day, all of these solutions work together for us to identify the right opportunity, package the right solutions at the right price, and get customers to buy before any other competitors do. Let's now hear from one of our vendors on how they're using these solutions and benefiting.
So we leverage imsmart as a lens into the buying practices of our partners to better understand the propensity to offer the various parts of our product portfolio. This helps us to develop tailored, data-driven BI programs such as white space, attach, EU demand generation, and growth incentive using the intelligence platform. This gives Ingram a competitive advantage by giving us the ammunition to change our engagement model within Ingram and the partner community.
So as you heard from Larry there, we have made a critical impact on his business. So the question we often get asked is, how do you know you made this impact and it wasn't normal market conditions? Please allow me to answer this with an example. All of our lift measurements are done with in-market validation, without using any simulations or forecasts. Lift is measured against a control group. Great care is given to selecting this control group. It should be a representative sample of your test environment. So control and test groups must have similar customer mix, product mix, and ordering method, among other criteria. This allows us to take into account the questions around what is the market doing during the same time period. Let's look at this example. This is the imprime solution, specifically rebate optimization for Microsoft. The build is not there. If you look in the center on the left over there for average daily sales, it increased 7% pre versus post price implementation, while our control group was down 24%. So the net lift is actually 31%. This is what we call a delta of a delta. So if I look at the second one, which is the machine margin dollars in the bottom left there, you can see that both the groups are negative, but the test group is less negative than the control group, thus the positive lift of 12%. But the real story with this example is actually on the right side, which is the performance-based rebate attainment. This is where the vendor pays us for hitting certain revenue tiers. In this case, we hit the highest tier ever in Ingram history and received an incremental $1.1 million due to the operations research applications. So I'm going to have Heather Connolly next tell us exactly how she experienced these benefits.
Microsoft and Ingram Micro enjoy a significant partnership with over 8,000 unique customers. With this size customer base, it is impossible to have a relationship with every single one. You need to be creative in finding a way to reach your customers, communicate with them, and establish a rapport. The imprime price optimization engine, built by our Global Business Intelligence Center, provided us with exactly that. We saw immediate response. For example, our market share in Microsoft's SMB segment increased by 47 to 51%. That represented a $3.1 million in market gain. Our rebate earnings increasing by 37%, and our margin lift was 34%. Ingram Micro gained a considerable competitive edge, firmly placing Ingram Micro as Microsoft's #1 distribution partner, ranked first out of 6, a spot we still enjoy today.
Good. Thank you, Heather. So now let's look at another example. This is VMware, and we use VMware. We use multiple sort of solutions for VMware. In this specific case, we're looking at white space, just the pure lift we were able to get from white space activities. We were able to generate over $11 million in incremental revenue through converting over 1,000 leads in just 2 quarters. Further, the average deal size from this campaign was 12% more than their business as usual peer groups, which is attributed to effective solution sell and upsell. Let's hear from the VMware marketing team about this.
VMware's strategy is threefold. One is looking at our software-defined data center, one is at our end-user computing, and one is the hybrid cloud. If I look at where our trajectory is and where the strategy takes us, you have to look at data in a different way. And I think at the center of that is Ingram's partnership with us in the Business Intelligence Center.
VMware's Fast Track program is designed to recruit and enable new partners for our expanding solution set. Ingram Micro's Business Intelligence Center provided the backbone for that program, which yielded 30,000 new leads to over 2,500 partners and graduated 442 partners into our new solution areas.
Ingram Micro's business intelligence has had a significant impact on VMware's growth and is vital to expanding our strategic partnership. In Q1, Ingram Micro grew their VMware business 23%. This is largely attributed to proprietary BI data and services such as their imsmart and intelligence platforms. By leveraging their unique end-user technology index and layering on intent data and profiling, we are now able to hone in on customers with a high propensity to purchase VMware. In Q1, Ingram Micro added an additional 315 partners, resulting in a 16% quarter-over-quarter growth in the white space segment.
So I'm going to move it over to Rito right now. Rito is going to go through exactly how these solutions were built. Okay.
Thank you, the Informs Edelman Committee and the judges for giving us this opportunity to present our work. So the three solutions that Jeet described earlier, imprime, imsmart, and intelligence, they all share the same single version of truth, the data assets. Our data assets is about 16 terabytes of data warehouse that combines ERP, CRM, web, marketing, and other data. In addition to that, we have second-party data that we get from vendors like VMware and the APC. And also, we have our third-party data, like NPD for panel, firmographic, DNB, and so on. So our instance of this data is, we call it as a big data, getting into that realm, actually. And it doubles itself in every 18 months or so. So all these solutions, that three solutions that we defined, they unified this data mart, along with and a module library that's also unified across the solutions. So the analytics layer that we have in here, it is formed by stitching together a number of optimization and predictive analytics algorithm. For example, we have in here a simplex solver, a solver for system of linear equations, logistic regression, ordinary least square, card, shade, decision trees, and so on. All the models are run in database and get refreshed periodically. For the interest of time, I'm going to cover three of the analytical modules in this presentation. So first, let's take a look at the under the hood of imprime price optimization engine. We have a patent pending on this solution. Ingram's journey with data-driven price setting began in 2004 when the company rolled out an opt-in customer segmentation program called Choice Advantage. Back then, analysts were calculating price elasticity in Excel and making limited price changes using business rules that were dictated by those price elasticity. Fast forward in 2007, we implemented a B2B price optimization solution with Zillion, a leader in the space. This solution allowed our business line owners as well as pricing analysts to optimize prices using ERP data, but at a much more granular level. Zillion back then was optimizing roughly about $3 billion of revenue on an annualized basis. Since then, we realized a need to build a homegrown solution as we wanted to leverage more data outside ERP for price setting. At the same time, our business model was evolving as well. For example, we needed to invent newer solutions such as rebate optimization, product lifecycle pricing, and so on. And so in 2011, we embarked on this journey of building this scalable optimization engine on our own. We branded it as imprime. And we sunset Zillion in early 2014. And imprime is currently utilized for the entire transactional business in North America, which is roughly about $8 billion per year. Let's now take a look at some of the algorithmic innovations that happen within imprime. A majority of this innovation centered around how we impute reliable yet granular price elasticity signal, and which in itself is a daunting task in any B2B optimization solution. So in particular, we estimate price elasticity leveraging external data, such as panel data from DNB in North America, with CRM line-level data from internal sources. We have adopted a practical hierarchical Bayesian framework using ridge regression. And most importantly, we have factored in explicitly the nuances in B2B transactions, such as negotiation, bill of material effects in our market response model. We have also put in place an engineering solution to calibrate those price elasticity signals based on duration of price changes. So we are making differentiation between short-term and long-term price elasticity. And our price elasticity workbench that we have generated reflects weekly, on a weekly basis. It takes about 15 minutes to run with over 5,000 modeling segments. Our optimization heuristic has evolved efficiently solving two sub-problems, which I'm going to cover next. The imprime machinery that we have built, it allows optimizing prices with different business objective and constraint sets. For example, a vendor business manager may want to maximize the front-end margin or market share, or wanted to maximize the total front-end and back-end margin combined, depending on the back-end rebate that the vendor has set up for them. It also supports markdown price optimization for excess or soon-to-be obsolete inventories, along with setting up the initial price for the new products and so on. Furthermore, it has something for our inside sales reps as well. If the customer is asking for a better price than what they are already seeing, then imprime has an app which is fully integrated with our CRM that provides data-driven guidance on the deals using floor and target prices. In addition to that, we also display cross-sell recommendation to boost profitability on invoices. When it comes to demand modeling, we seek to detect the statistically significant pricing signal at the lowest granular level possible. While working with the panel data, we accomplish this by looking at traversing a tree that consists of Ingram functional product hierarchy and cost buckets, derived attributes such as cost buckets, and those are also context sensitive as well. Within each of these modeling segments, we feed basically three models. At the first level, an Aremax model to estimate the total demand of product in the IT channel across all distributors and all brands combined. Secondly, a multinomial logic model to estimate a particular brand, let's say HP share within that segment in the channel. And finally, a logistic regression model to estimate Ingram's market share for that brand within the channel. We enforce the hierarchical consistency in the parameter using ridge regression, where there is a penalty for a child nodes coefficient to deviate that from its parent. The penalty parameters are also a function of the number of observations we have in the child node compared to its parents. While panel data informs about price elasticity of products, the CRM quote line data is used to get relative price elasticity across customer segments, where we feed a censored logistic regression model across customer segments with product level context on the top. Let me move on to the price setting now. In a given quarter in North America, we observed about 3 to 4 million unique combination of SKU customer tuple. While if you do a complete cross-join of our entire 20,000 customers, transacting customers, and 50,000 active products, there are about 1 billion combinations. In fact, this observation matrix of ours is more sparse than the Netflix prediction problem. So to avoid this curse of dimensionality, in imprime engine, we dynamically decide the right combinations of specificities of price setting. For example, if you're optimizing for a product line with higher velocity, then we'll have higher mix of price recommendation at the SKU customer or SKU customer segment level, and having a catch-all recommendation at the vendor code segment level. We have built this logic, which is analogous to bias variance trade-off in the machine learning literature. Once the right levels of price setting is determined, the price elasticities are calculated from the panel data as well as logistic regression. And we have built a proprietary blending approach that's derived from first principles. The main challenge in price setting or price optimization part of our problem is to get reliable and robust price results within a fixed amount of time for 8 to 10 million decision variables. So our heuristic decomposes this price optimization into two sub-problems. In the first part, we optimize prices for individual entities after linearizing the demand curve around current prices, which is a fair assumption given small magnitude of our price changes. This gives rise to a quadratic optimization problem with box constraints, where we are jointly optimizing the expected profit lift and expected revenue lift with the exogenous choice of lambda. Sometimes the vendor business managers may also want to enforce cross-entity constraints. For example, low cost of serve customers should pay less than higher segment of customers. Those are still linear constraints, so we can still solve those subproblems as a system of linear equations after invoking KKT conditions. Once we do that, every price entity, we have a set of possible price recommendations, one for each choice of lambda, including the do-nothing option. So the problem then boils down to the selection of one such option for each entity while still satisfying a risk tolerance constraints across all entities. For example, while maximizing front-end margin dollar, a business manager may not want to lose on revenue, so we may want to keep revenue neutral year-over-year standpoint. We have cast this problem as a multi-choice 0-1 knapsack problem, and we solve this using a greedy approximate algorithm. While about 30% of our negotiated transactions, we provide data-driven deal guidance to our inside sales reps in the form of floor and target pricing along with cross-sell opportunities. Cross-sell opportunities, as you can imagine, is generated using a segmented market basket model, but is learned at the end user level. While the floor and target is determined based on weighted percentiles, those weights are function of how similar this opportunity is to the previous opportunities that we have seen in our orders, also loss codes, attributes of products and customers, as well as a management control global parameter. This global parameter is set by the sales director to dial aggressiveness of the guidance based on external market conditions and business needs. We're now going to switch gears, and we're going to talk you through another analytical invention of ours. This is around how we generate leads. And how we generate leads in the B2B2B setting or two-tier setting. We have also filed for a patent on this. The lead generation is one of the most commonly used marketing tactics in B2B, yet with unpredictable returns. According to CSO Insights, 52% of sales reps in even today's world will not make their quota. And in the old world, the B2B lead generation involved telemarketing to a list acquired somehow. Needless to say, this process is slow, gets quite expensive with extremely low yield. Telemarketer may need to dial over 100 calls before generating one lead. Then in 2000, with the advent of marketing automation products such as Eloqua and Marketo, B2B companies started using data for scoring leads. These techniques involve rule-based prioritization of prospects based on interaction these prospects are having using the email marketing solutions. This is definitely a step in the right direction, but still doesn't solve this problem completely. As a research study shows, 94% of leads generated this way or qualified this way still doesn't convert. Then come to B2B predictive lead scoring, which replaces these rules using models, purchase propensity models, mining install base, and marketing response data. While such approach works for B2B company, but B2B2B company like us, it still doesn't work because of two reasons. One is end user traffic never comes to our website, and two, IT buyers in today's world are connecting the seller more than halfway through there in the process, and you need to contact them early on. So there are some good news in this. So we leverage our network of 3,500 B2B premium content publishers, and we call it intent data, to learn about those buyers and what they're researching online. We triangulate this data with our install base and marketing response information to get the version of our lead scoring. So how do we do it? In the first and foremost, we mine our end user install base data to create a purchase propensity being A through D, where A indicates high likelihood of purchase and D is list. However, at this point, we still do not know whether A propensity end user is actively researching online for their product and solution, and this is where the intent data comes handy. Let's say we identify Boeing as being one of the A propensity end users for server virtualization project. Now, if someone from Boeing.com is researching online about server virtualization, there's a high chance that our intent data that we get through the network of publishers will identify this information or collect this information. Even though this is non-personally identifiable information, so we will not know exactly who is researching, but it's still a valuable signal that we can triangulate and we can use it for our lead scoring. So furthermore, as we collect more response data through our own marketing activities on Boeing, then this intent score gets refreshed. This scores can be refreshed daily, actually even sometimes several times within a day. So the purchase propensity scores that we described are basically derived from a 3-layer hierarchical logistic regression model. Data inputs that are coming here are end-user firmographics, adjacency-based information that we get from install base, as well as such as the web scraping information we also factor in, such as the job boards. We scrape job boards for looking for certain trigger or keywords. So at the top level, we are trying to predict, given what we know today, who is going to purchase any technology from Ingram Micro in the next 90 days or so. At the second level, we have, given what we know, if someone has purchased a technology, are they going to buy a specific technology, let's say virtualization technology? And at the lowest level, given someone has purchased virtualization technology, we try to predict who is going to buy VMware virtualization technology from us. And in the end, we combine all three scores in a 0 to 100 scale, where 100 means you're very highly likely to purchase, and 0 means not so much. And we further discretize this score into 4 buckets, where A through D. And those breakpoints are also statistically determined. When it comes to purchase intent data, the intent signals in our framework is blended with external data with internal data that we get from our own marketing activities. Each activity is weighted differently. So, for example, an impression level data typically has lowest signal to noise ratio, and it's less precise on the topics of interest. On the other hand, submissions and document downloaded information reveal a lot about the interest and the need. The blended intent signals are also discretized into 4 buckets, 1 through 4. And also this is determined algorithmically. Let's now look at how all these things come together in our end-to-end process for lead generation. So it typically starts with a target list that may come from the vendor or generated internally. Then we start the drip campaign, which both has inbound and outbound techniques. For outbound, we use number of technology vendors and providers. Right after 1 to 2 weeks of the drip campaign, the band qualification or telemarketing starts. BAND stands for budget, authority, need, and timeline. So while you're on the phone, you're trying to gauge on all 4 aspects of it. And once the lead is band qualified, those are passed on to the resellers through the intelligence platform for lead for follow-up and further along, taking the lead to the journey. And we use our line of sight, our CRM and transaction line of sight to generate a report and kind of create cradle-to-grave view for our manufacturers and for our internal process for the process. So let's now take a look at predictive lead scoring, and an example of life cycle of a lead in the context of a real example. In this case, Schlumberger Corporation in Houston, Texas, was one of the prospects for a VMware virtualization campaign that we ran last year. Throughout our install base line of sight, we observed Schlumberger was buying a number of technologies that are adjacent to virtualization, such as servers, SAN systems, and storage. And therefore, as you would expect, the virtualization propensity score keeps increasing fairly steadily and reached the highest tier A sometime around end of 2013. Which is great news. But however, at the same point, we are not still sure whether Schlumberger has any virtualization project defined yet or they are actively researching, until we spotted some interesting intent activity on July 22nd last year. When on July 22nd, through our intent data, we observed that someone from Schlumberger watched an EMC broadcast and downloaded a document that is relevant to storage virtualization. With that activity, the intent score shot up to 1, so they become A1, and we included Schlumberger in our drip campaign. We saw some response from our marketing campaigns as well. Finally, on August 6th, one of our campaign resellers requested a quote for Schlumberger. Soon after, we saw another follow-on quote. And finally, on September 25th, a $36,000 deal was closed for VMware, and one of the leads was successfully converted to a sale. With predictive lead scoring and the lead generation engine, we empowered our reseller in this case to engage with the end user right in time and be able to sell the deal on time. So thank you. Let's now have Paul come back to recap this for us.
Thank you. So hope you can see that operational research theories really work for us. And we've proven that in our North American business, which is over a $17 billion base of business, over the last 4 years, we've generated over an extra $1 billion of revenue for the company. It's not a forecast or a simulation. These are real results in the marketplace for us. And it validates that what we're doing works. It's crucial for us to be a data-driven organization globally. And my role is to take what we do here around the world in all of our different go-to-market motions with the millions and millions of pieces of data that we have and truly grow our business in a very differentiated way. Now that we have productized these solutions, we can go monetize these in many other ways, in many other industries, like the food distribution or in other two-tiered distribution models. Thank you to Informs, Edelman, and the judges for giving us this opportunity to present our story. We're very proud of what we do. And everything that we've developed internally, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you also to the coaches for help guiding us. We appreciate all of your support. And with that, I'd say thanks very much.